Alan, what do you got for me today, my friend?
Okay, so I called TD Ameritrade, and I didn't just call the regular folks. I called the trade desk, so I got someone with the Series 7 license.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to tell you that I need help with my MMTLP. Can you tell me what's going on? He's like, yep.
Huh?
I said, can you look at my account notes of the last rep and the rep before that and probably the last 30 before that?
Uh, uh,
He was like, hold on. He's like, oh my gosh. He's flipped and he's like, wow. I said, yes, sir. Well, just look at the one, of roughly this date. And
huh?
he is. And so we're talking, and I says, sir, you guys, before the chill, before the halt, before FINRA gave out the corporate action notices, you guys intentionally did not allow my stock to transfer to AST,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys intentionally did the wrong type of transfer, and this is why. And I broke it down the system why it had to be an ACATS transfer,
Yeah.
and I told him the email that they had given me in the past confirming it. And he went and looked it up, and he's like, yes, we did do it that way. I said, yes, sir. I said, if you see in the notes on this date, I requested that exact same process, told him how to manually enter it through the system. And I said, just so you know, I'm not some just average Joe trader. I'm somebody that's actually done a lot of research, and I have a little bit of knowledge about how this is supposed to transpire.
Yep.
And he's like, no, I see that. And I said, so my concern is this. We're past the date, which means our shares are now locked in our accounts,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not available for any type of electronic transfer
Uh-huh.
per the S1. Like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
You guys, before any of this halted,
Mm-hmm.
your last representative literally told me that they intentionally did the wrong type of transfer to buy 2 to 4 weeks of time to be able to figure out how to handle this situation, knowing it was coming.
Yeah.
And he's
Absolutely.
like, well, yes, sir. That's what I'm looking at the notes. That's what he told you. I said, yes. I said, but essentially, you can't do that. And
Mm.
he's like, well, what are we supposed to do? We have to basically, protect ourselves. I said, do
They
you
have to
not
protect
see how
you,
that
though.
constitutes? I said, and I can't tell you the exact wording he used. I won't because I'm using it for my own litigation.
Yeah.
But in a rough estimate, he said, what are we supposed to do? Like, we have to try to protect ourselves and all of our clients. And I said, sure. But when you protect yourself over your client, when I've asked you a to do something for me specifically, and I walk you through exactly how I want it done, and it's correct, legal with your processes, you have to do it.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, well, technically, I said, well, technically, it's the definition of fiduciary fraud, is it not? And he's like,
Oh.
well, he says, well, I see that, sir. And I told him I was recording the phone call. So I have a Series 7 guy agreeing that TD Ameritrade committed fiduciary fraud against me on a recorded phone call.
Alan, I mean
That is
that's easy.
game, set,
That
and match.
that that
It's
that
done.
that's easy six figures, buddy.
It's done. It's over for them.
Well, I mean, on the low end, right? On
Well,
the
here's what it is though.
uh.
It's not just me. It's everybody, because anybody that heard my verbiage
Mm.
or heard the process I used, and a lot of people was regurgitating this information, and I didn't come up with it. I wasn't the genius behind it. The supervisor at AST was. I just happened to be lucky enough to be the person she told.
Yeah.
And
And
that information went really wide. So essentially, anybody that told TD Ameritrade to do an ACATS transfer before the chill was issued,
uh,
they were TD Ameritrade committed fraud against them for anybody that they intentionally did the wrong transfer to. And we know that they issued guidelines to do this to the customers so that they could figure out how to protect themselves. Well, that's literally fraud, like by the definition. And so I have contacted a very, very large attorney firm, and I am waiting for a response from them. I do believe they are going to represent a class action lawsuit. I have to get final approval from them before I announce it. but I believe anybody that has TD Ameritrade that tried to do a transfer to AST through the ACAT system, as AST provided for us that information, they're all going to be able to be included.
Man, I am kind of jealous that I have E-Trade.
So I don't think I'm going to get your 6 or 7 figures like you're saying.
No, I think you're gonna.
As a group, we're going to get taken care of in some way.
No, I think individually you'll clear 6.
I don't know. I don't have enough knowledge or information to make that kind of determination.
Okay,
I haven't
Alan,
done the research on it. I don't know.
Alan, can I ask you this?
Yeah.
You don't have to give me a definitive number, right? Do you have like 100 shares?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna ballpark, right? And I would say that for each share, right? And this could be this is just a ballpark number. This is way off probably, right?
Okay.
I would assume $1,000 a share at least.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. The shares aren't going to matter because I believe that a judge is going to look at what settlements have been reached against other brokers for intentional fiduciary fraud. And I believe that those settlements are going to create the baseline to which he makes his decision off of. And it's going to be per account holder that was defrauded, not per share, if that makes any sense. I think
no. It makes perfect sense. I'm just trying to, how would I say?
No, I understand.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like ballpark like an approximate thing for I don't think that you're gonna walk away with less than 6 figures on that, especially not.
I don't know. I don't even care. I want to see the whole group that this happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see us all made whole. That's all I care about.
You know what
take care of the entire group. That makes me happy.
You know what I'm really also wondering as well. Okay, and this might just be because I have E-Trade, right? But I'm wondering if, because of the way that they handled those securities, right, if that also in some way, shape, or form affected the entire security, right? No matter which broker they were sitting at.
Well, I don't think this case did, but I think that most definitely TD Ameritrade wasn't the only brokerage firm that took this position until they had definite answers.
I agree.
And I think that all of the brokers, if people were to call them and say, hey, I asked you to do a transfer on this date and time, if it was before the chill order was issued or the halt code was issued, I believe that those folks have an absolute right to find out if their company took a position like that against them as well. And if this attorney takes on this case, I am sure they would be more than happy to take on the rest of them as well.
That's incredible. I'm so happy for you. I'm
happy for the group as an overall whole because I'm trying to help us as a consolidated effort. Now, I'm going to tell you something that most people are going to think absolutely is ridiculous. But when you look at the time it takes to deal with a lawsuit, the amount of money that is incurred,
it gets expensive.
The amount of time it costs a company to fight a lawsuit, let alone win a lawsuit. So because of that, I called TD Ameritrade, and I looked at what I believe their costs are going to be to handle MMTLP for my shares that didn't get moved. And every day I have given them a new price they can purchase them from me for, and they're putting it in my accounts.
Wow.
And every day that they make me wait, I'm adjusting that price $2,500 a share north.
Wow.
I have been doing this for a while now. So now
I know you have.
Because you've been representatives. They take a huge breath when they're like, "You want me to do what?" And look at my account.
And the thing is, Alan, is you talk to somebody with like at the trading desk with the Series 7.
Right.
You didn't just talk to Joe Schmo at the like just picking up the phone. You
Right.
talked
I
to
talked to
yeah.
somebody who's licensed and who absolutely has to follow the laws, that understands the laws. We're talking about a person that is supposed to be up to date and current with all of the securities laws involving stock trading and options trading.
So
Period.
you said something very very important before, right? And it was in regards to it was in regards to him saying we need to protect ourselves, right? But
Yes.
I want to remind you that it is their fiduciary responsibility to protect you before they protect themselves.
Well, and more than that, in the law, it specifically states that they must protect me before they are even allowed to protect their own profits.
Well, that's
And
what I was
that word
saying.
profits is huge.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said, but it, kind of in different terms.
No, no,
Um,
no, I understand. And I just wanted to clarify that because the law is very specific.
yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
And anybody can go on the FINRA website
Uh,
and type in broker dealers or dealer brokers and then put a space and put clients.
uh-huh.
And they will find a search of how dealer brokers are, if they have a FINRA agreement, which we know TD Ameritrade does and these other brokers do,
Uh-huh.
if they're trading a security that is governed by FINRA, they have to follow the FINRA rules, and the FINRA rules basically state the Securities Act of 1934 and the SEC rules. So instead of having to go to three places, if you actually go to FINRA, at
Mm-hmm.
the click of a button, you'll have access to all three. And it will show you exactly how broker dealers are to deal with their clients and what their legal responsibilities are. And I think that if you're an investor or I can't talk today, sorry, if you are an investor in MMTLP
Mm-hmm.
and you have not read the rules on how your brokerage is supposed to treat you, you
Mm-hmm.
absolutely should go get firsthand knowledge. If you don't understand it, seek legal advice from a professional that can explain what that stuff says to you,
Uh-huh.
because it is very important that people know their rights. The way a lot of these companies get away with this crap that they're pulling is because they're dealing with folks that don't understand
The
what these
laws.
guys are legally required to do for you.
I 100% agree with you. That is actually absurd. Like the most like I don't know, the craziest part to me is the fact that the person had a Series 7. You know what I mean? Like
Right. This is a person that can make a trade on my behalf
exactly.
and make a trade that I can say I don't know anything about. I want to pay the $25 or $26 or whatever it is that TD charges. Well, and now they don't even do that anymore, but because they're changing how they do things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but those people are fully licensed and they're fully capable of understanding the ramifications of their decisions. They know exactly what happens when and where and how when you deal with violations of the law with securities.
But
This is what they're trained in.
I mean that's why that's why they get a Series 7 to begin with.
Oh, and it's very hard to get it. I mean, once you go and get your 6 and your 63 and your 7,
Mm-hmm.
you can't even just go take that test. You have to legitimately work somewhere for so many hours
Yeah, you have to get a
and then
sponsor.
have a window open. Well, yeah, but there's still requirements besides just needing a sponsor. You have to put in so many hours in the field
Uh-huh.
to show that you have enough knowledge to even be able to pass this test and be able to study for it. So before you can get study materials or have your window open, you
Mm-hmm.
have to meet specific requirements. And those requirements ensure that you're not just some guy that said, I'm going to quit McDonald's and go work for, whatever brokerage firm as a securities guy. They want you to know that, they want to know that you actually have the ability to do what you need to do. And so to make sure of that, they have have these specific requirements. So to get a Series 7 is not easy.
Oh, I know because I've looked into it, but
I mean,
yeah.
it's a lot of work, and it costs a lot of money.
Huh?
And because of that, the knowledge is very valuable.
Absolutely.
And those folks, when they speak, I mean, you've got folks like Neil that, Neil, I'm sure, is at a Series 24 and not a Series 7. People like that, their knowledge base is so vast compared to most other people that they could talk for 3 days about securities and nobody would even understand a word they said.
I mean, without a doubt. I mean, I know some smart people. Like, for instance, like my cousin is a double doctor. Like I was saying, he's like a biochem doctor, and uh, I mean, Neil is by far the most intelligent person that I think that I've ever spoken to, without a doubt.
Sure.
So like I absolutely agree with you on what you're saying. Like
But
those,
I mean, just the knowledge that they gain.
yeah.
These things are so complicated that they could legitimately, if you went to Neil and said, Neil, I want you to have a conversation with me, but I don't actually want to have the conversation. I just want you to think about what this would be. How long could you talk to me about securities? And knowing, I'm John and this is my background, this is how long I've been trading, he knows you.
Yeah.
And with what I know about the stock market, how many hours could you have a conversation where I didn't understand a damn thing you said and you were legitimately talking to me about securities that are over and beyond my
I mean,
scope of understanding?
I,
And so
okay.
that's what's super important because these folks have this type of knowledge.
Well, I mean,
Listen.
like Neil and I have had like conversations. I mean, obviously, like we would know, like I would know, like what like was going on in the conversation. You know what I mean? It wouldn't just be like a repetitive loop. But me and him have had like almost 2 hour conversations, right? Just talking about securities. So like, and
Well, no, I understand
just
that.
random
I'm just
stuff. So
saying.
I get exactly what you're saying.
I'm just saying he has knowledge on levels that you wouldn't even know to ask questions about.
Absolutely.
That either pertain or don't pertain to this, but he could legitimately talk to you about things in the stock market
Mm-hmm.
that you wouldn't even understand because
Mm-hmm.
he has so much knowledge. And
Absolutely.
so that's why I firmly believe in getting professional help. There's lots of folks out there with a Series 7 that you can hire to help you.
Uh,
And getting professional help when we are dealing with something that most brokers don't understand is at the utmost of importance because if the professionals barely can understand what's happening, there's no way that a normal person should be
Well,
able to.
it's
So,
kind of sad that people like you and I, right, are having conversations with like like these types of people, and we know more about the situation than they do.
no, and I understand that. It's so complicated, and that's why I'm trying to urge people to get knowledged up and to get professional help
Mm-hmm.
because one wrong word, one slip, and they can bury themselves on accident and didn't even realize they were doing
And I think it's
it. And
very
that's
important to not violate the wiretapping laws as well. Make sure that obviously it's a one party consent state if they're going to be recording, or if not, make sure that they make the other person aware that obviously they are recording the phone call. That way
well. Let me
they're not breaking the law on the wiretapping.
no, I understand that. Let me tell you something that an attorney told me
What's that?
that was very important, and I've done this on every call.
Mm,
And every attorney that I've talked to since that I've asked about this has confirmed this.
mm,
When I tell them, hey, I'm recording this phone call for my own personal records,
mm,
and I'm also keeping this phone call so I can use it if there's any litigation or if I need to have information used or available for court purposes for any
mm,
kind of lawsuits or whatever happens in the future. By
mm.
saying that and them saying okay and continuing the conversation,
That's
they are giving
implied.
consent
Yeah,
to
implied consent.
you using it in a court proceedings, not just for your own personal uses.
Yeah.
So a lot of these wiretapping rules, they go off of you can record stuff for your own personal uses, but that doesn't always make it admissible in court.
Mm-hmm.
If you advise them in the in the conversation, like when you start talking to them before you get into, the things that you start talking about,
Yeah.
when you're first just verifying who you are and that kind of stuff, and you say, hey, I'm recording this call, and you tell them, I am doing this with the express intent of possibly having to use this in the future in court cases,
That
and they
changes
agree to
things.
continue the conversation, they can never dispute your recording.
Yeah, it changes things tenfold because you're literally telling them exactly what you're gonna do.
Well, but you're telling them what your intention is to use the recording for, so
Exactly.
they can't say, well, we had no idea he was going to bring this into court, Your Honor. We would have had him talking to our legal team had we know we were dealing with somebody that was going to be using this for legal purposes. And so there's all kinds of ways they can try to get out of these conversations and these phone calls. I don't know that they'll ever be successful in that, but why leave them an open door to try?
In your case, Alan, I can't speak for everyone's case, okay? Because I don't know everyone's case intimately, like I kind of know yours, right?
Sure.
Um, I think that you have them game set match,
Oh, I do too.
and like no matter which way you cut it, like I truly want to say congratulations to you because you put in so much time and so much effort, not only for yourself, right, but for the community as a whole, right? You deserve everything that you have coming your way, buddy. Just so you know.
Well, it's not just me.
No, no,
I got to tell you, I'm working.
I know that. I know you're doing it for other
So,
people too,
yeah, but
you deserve it. You deserve
let me
it.
just tell you. Yeah, no, I understand. Let me tell you something. There's
Hmm.
this lady, and I'm not going to give you her name or nothing like that because she doesn't want people knowing who she is.
That's fine.
But she's in Florida,
I know who it is. Go ahead.
and she has been put in a situation where she is a senior citizen, and she is on Social Security. And before she was on Social Security, she, put herself in a position where she was very heavily loaded with MMTLP
Mm-hmm.
and Torchlight original,
Mm-hmm.
and ended up going through a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
getting just the house on a single fixed income.
Mm-hmm.
She has her house, but that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's buried into this, and it's people like that. She calls me every day, and she's almost in tears because she
Oh,
is so afraid of what's going to happen. Because part of what was done was
was it
they
based on the
thought this
trades?
was going to be a much better deal than it was.
Oh,
So she was much heavier loaded than she was in other places. Now she didn't buy irresponsibly because she has other stocks and bonds and other places that are protecting her from
well,
some of the damage.
I mean
But I'm going to
that's a little
tell
bit
you,
better though, right? It's not
yeah, I
great,
mean,
but it's a little
she
bit.
acted responsibly with it, but she's heavily loaded with it. But she can't get help. Like the attorneys won't take her case. Like she is having the hardest time getting anywhere. So it is people like that that I am doing this for.
No,
And
I
she is a
know.
TD Ameritrade client.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 5 hours, 4.5 hours with her yesterday, walking her through what to do to protect herself.
Alan,
Um,
this is
what
why
she should do.
the
And so,
I hate to cut you off. I just want to tell you something. This is why I hold you with such high regard, right? Because of your, like how much you care about other people, and I appreciate that out of you. I really, really do because that's a lot. You know what I mean?
she's
Um,
probably going to stab me for what I'm about to say, and I appreciate that. I really do, coming from you. It
no,
means a
dude,
lot to me.
no, you're my
But I
boy.
do
You
it
know.
because it pisses me off that people are attacking. Like I said, she's going to stab me for what I'm about to say to you. But they're attacking these little old grandmas on Social Security that are on a single fixed income. Somebody has to work part time just to survive. Like, come on, you attack me. I'm a 46-year-old man.
Yeah.
I at least have, you know, the I have a little better chance of standing against a fight against them than somebody that's above 65, that's a senior citizen. And let me tell you something. She has them in such a position that I don't even have them.
She has them
She
that
used
bad.
Oh, she does because she used the ACATS language she used the correct transfer type, and they refused. She went to.
Is it recorded?
Oh yeah, everything's been taken care of.
Oh,
Now
I'm
but
so
check this out.
I'm kind of relieved though.
Well, she has um, conversations with AST
Uh-huh.
before she had her conversation with TD Ameritrade.
Uh-huh.
So she didn't just take my word for it.
Uh-huh.
She took the information I put out there and she went and verified it.
Okay.
So that when she made a choice for herself, she was protecting herself.
Well, that's smart of her.
And so what she did was she went and made sure the information was correct. Then she made a phone call, right? Because we always want to verify anything anybody tells us unless they're our lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are not responsible to us. They could straight give us FUD, and a lot of people wouldn't know it. And so I always tell people, hey, if you want to know what I'm saying to you, you want to know where I got this information,
Mm-hmm.
I have so many notes. I will go through them, and if there's a specific topic I've talked about or something you want to know about, I'll show you what the FINRA rule is. I'll show you what the SEC rule is. I'll show you where I got my information, because there's always a chance I'm incorrect. And if somebody else finds that, it gives me the ability to correct the information I've put out there. So I'm very transparent with, this is how I found this out. This is where I looked.
I mean, not only do you have information, as you had said, right? You have a whole freaking book, Alan.
No, I understand.
so you just take him to school.
So me and her have been contacting attorneys,
Uh-huh.
right? And we've been talking to different folks trying to get legal help for the entire community. And one of the attorneys said something to me, and I didn't really understand what he was saying. So I had to go on the FINRA website and look it up.
Uh-huh.
But for her case, which makes it it makes me look like I'm using a BB gun against them, and she's coming in with a freaking Apache. They have rules that if you are over the age of 65 years old, that you are basically considered a vulnerable adult. And the fines are like 3 times as much if you do something to a vulnerable adult. The way you can treat them is completely different than anybody else you deal with, as far as understanding that they understand what's happening.
Alan, can you hold on 1 second, buddy?
Yeah.
Jerry, thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate that. Very, very, very much. I'm sorry. Jerry became a member, so I just wanted to thank him.
No, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Go ahead.
So she has the same type of recordings that I do.
Uh-huh.
She has the same information. She used the same information.
Mm-hmm.
And she's above the age of 65.
So she's gonna hit them for what you said, about 3 times more than the average person?
Yeah. Because you cannot go after a person that they consider to be vulnerable because of their age. Like, you can't do that, apparently. And I don't know all the rules or the ins and outs of this, but she is hopefully going to gain representation from this legal firm in the next, by the next week. And then she'll be able to talk about it, directly on what.
Yeah.
They didn't get into detail with me. They just said, look, if you're of this age group, there are things, and they were basically trying to explain it to me. So I started trying to look into it. It's kind of hard to find some of the information.
Hey, Alan, I don't want to cut you off again, okay? But again, we have a live chart going, so obviously things come up.
Yeah.
Are you looking at SOXL?
I'm not looking at anything because I can't see it while I'm on the phone.
Oh, okay. If you could get
if I go into my office,
if
it's playing in there.
Okay, all right. Okay. Well, I just to let you know, SOXL looks like a beautiful cup and handle forming.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Not financial advice, obviously.
I love this channel and love this community, because you got all these people, and it's not just you. I mean, I appreciate what you do, but you got all the people in the background constantly saying, hey, look at this right now. You got all these eyes all over the place helping, that make the community such a wonderful place to be.
Shout out to the Margin Mafia.
That's right.
Shout out to the
no
margin.
else
Every
you
single
have.
person in here. Every single person in here. I want to say thank you very much. You guys literally for making me a part of your day. I just want to say thank you very much. And everything that you guys put in, it means more to me than you guys could even fathom.
And it means a lot to me because there's a lot of these plays that I understand nothing about,
mm-hmm.
and it gives me a place to start researching things I didn't even know about. Because people in your group are doing DD and they're looking at things and they're like, "Hey, has anybody looked at this security?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "What is that?" And they start sharing their DD, and I start looking at it, and I'm like, "Oh, I really like that.
That's what
I
I'm
better look into
saying.
that."
I like
it's amazing.
I find probably about 30% to 40% of my own plays, right? And then like around 60% are just like plays that like I didn't plan on taking, but then they just looked too good for me to not take. You know what I
Right.
mean?
There's people doing the research that are in this group that are sharing the research with everybody else, and it's phenomenal.
It's well, and you know, and the best part is it's not. It can never ever be considered collusion because it's not like everything is ever being planned. But what it is it's crowdsourcing public information, and
Well, exactly.
it's a beautiful thing.
For it to be collusion, they would have to say
Hmm.
buy at this price point and sell at this price
Yeah,
point on this
exactly.
date.
Well,
And they're not
exactly.
doing that. They're just saying, "Hey, I looked into this company, and a lot of people don't know about this yet, but you should do your research on XYZ company
Hmm?
because I believe they look very attractive." The other thing it does is it shows the intelligence of the people in your community
Aw,
because now
Alan.
everybody, well, no, listen, everybody thinks, "Oh, they're just sharing what they found." Well, they're not, though, because they're having everybody else look into it and do their own DD in case they missed something. And being able to say, "I can be wrong as a person," and having other people fact check the information you're looking at
Isn't that the
is
best?
huge.
The,
And so and the fact that this group does that, man, to have
like
a group of people where you get more than 5 or 6 different people looking at the same thing doing the research, now you have a collective group that is disseminating information together.
Hey, give me 1 second, Alan. Somebody's Dolores. She's a new member, right? I want to comment to her real quick.
Yeah.
Dolores, it doesn't. You have 30 shares of MMTLP. You're still a part of the family. It doesn't matter how many you have, as long as if you have some, you're a part of the family. You know.
I don't care if
And
you
then
don't have someone
and then
some if you subscribe to this group, you're part of our family.
yeah. If you are in this group, you are a part of the family. And Antics, thank you very much for what you said about Alan. You know what Antics just said about you? He
I
said
don't.
he said the world definitely needs more men like this.
Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna get off of here. Y'all are tearing me up. But I
Oh,
appreciate the
don't get
group
teared.
so much.
Don't get teared up. It's all love, bro. It's all love.
No, it's just like I said, man, I'm doing this because I'm pissed off that people are doing this to us. And I'm pissed off that they don't care that they're hurting grandmas and grandpas and that they're hurting young families that are just trying to start out. They don't care. They would rob their own grandparents. And that just makes me want to shove my foot right where it don't have no sunshine, if you get what I'm saying.
I absolutely hear you, and I might be seeing the most beautiful cup and handle formation on SOXL right now
Okay,
that I've
well,
seen in
I'm
some
not going to
time.
miss any more of the show, so I'm going to get off of here so I can go watch it on my YouTube.
Yeah. Go check. I'll leave SOXL up for you for a few minutes at least. That way you could see how nice of a formation this looks like. But we're about to have a gold cross as well.
Hey,
Um,
hang on just a second. That's
Obviously
what I'm
not
about to
financial
do.
advice. Yada yada yada. You know the spiel. But
Right.
she looks pretty.
So, Jonathan,
Hit me.
watch what I'm about to go do. This is going to be awesome.
What
You
are you
guys
about?
are going to get me killed, but this is going to be fun. Watch this.
Well, remember that that we're on a hot mic and I'm recording
No,
this.
I know. No, I understand all that.
Okay,
We're good.
what are you doing?
You'll see. Well, hang on. Let me look into that. Hold on just a second.
Dolores just loaded 918 shares of MMAT. Let's go,
Hi,
Dolores.
baby. How are you today? What? He's talking about other stuff at the moment. Um, I did tell him what you said about me not having him on YouTube anymore. So I told him that unfortunately I have to keep my YouTube going all the time. Like I can't help that. But if I mute it, then I can't hear. Oh well, I'm sorry. I love you. You should get that amount of time at least for those activities. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Well, you go back to laying down. I hope you feel better, sweetheart. I love you. The wife is not
Tell
feeling
her I
well
love her
today.
too, and tell her that I'm sorry for stealing you.
Oh no. She was just not happy that you were on my headboard on the phone playing.
But no. But you have to tell her. You have to tell her that I'm sorry. That I'm sorry. Like as a human being, and
So
that
Jonathan says
yeah.
he's sorry as a human being that I did that to you. She's sitting here laughing.
Well, okay. Well, laughing is good. I'm okay with that.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you go, man.
All right.
And like I said, I appreciate the whole Mafia family. I just wanted y'all to know about her situation and about what I've done today.
Mm.
I firmly believe there's going to be some very big changes coming in the very near future. And if we start seeing a whole bunch of crazy things happening, like brokerages saying, okay, we're crediting your account, here's your next bridge hydrocarbon shares, and they're trying to make people very uneasy,
Yeah.
that might tell you that they're aware that big things are coming. If they're trying to get people scared, we may have trading days coming.
I'm gonna give you a tinfoil hat
Scare
theory.
the hell out of everybody.
I'm gonna give you a tinfoil hat theory though, Alan. Okay. Now
Okay.
this is going into the new year. Okay. And what I and the whole reason is because it's a new year and what we're a lot of these like funds they want to go ahead and slice the end of the year basically, right? Um, I'm wondering if we might be walking into some margin calls if and only if, right? MMTLP is handled in a sloppy manner, which it seems like it may be.
See, and I don't think that's going to happen. I just have my own personal thought.
Of
But I'll
course.
tell you like this. I believe that Miss Rosa has probably gained some traction
I think she is
because of
too.
what I'm seeing these companies do
Mm-hmm.
and how they are now responding to their clients, because I'm getting hundreds of messages of pictures of notices from all of these different brokerages.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, if anybody wants copies of these from any of these brokerages, if you message me and let me know what your brokerage is, every time somebody sends me one of these, I'm blocking out the account number.
Mm-hmm.
But I am able to make sure that if there is a notice that you didn't get from your broker that somebody else did get
Mm-hmm.
in response to the same MMTLP,
Mm-hmm.
for legal reasons, I will share all of the notices that went out so that everybody has a copy of all of them.
That's awesome. And it's gonna be
So,
it's gonna be even better though. It's gonna be even better when you have the book out and people could go ahead and say, hey, you know what? Remember what Grandpa, when Grandpa came into all that money? This is why. And then flip through your book.
oh, yeah, no, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to tell you something I did.
Uh huh.
All the people that were intentionally spreading FUD and talking crap about me and running their mouth on Twitter,
Mm.
I screenshotted it. They're going to be in my book.
Yeah.
Like their actual screenshot of what they said. And the
Really.
date and time they said it. Versus when we find out, when all the dust settles, all of the information will be readily available to everybody. They'll be able to see just how wrong certain people were and what their motives were behind it. They're not going to be happy with me, but I think it's going to be an awesome read. Because I pretty much am going to, at the back of the book, attach the equivalent of like a Jerry Springer show to it of what everybody was saying.
Do I get a signed copy? Because I would really love one.
Of course.
Okay.
So, with what Rosa's doing,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that she's probably. I know that if this has happened, she can't talk about it.
Of course
I
not.
guarantee you they will have silenced her as far as the courts due to the ability that she could affect the market.
Oh,
But I
absolutely.
believe she has gained ground, because why else would all these brokers now be doing different things and trying to make people afraid of what's happening with MMTLP.
Mm-hmm.
If they make you scared, and all of a sudden it starts trading again, and people see it goes to $5,
Mm-hmm.
there may be a lot of people that are like, "I'm out of this. Oh, I'm going to get $5 a share and get somewhat recouped. Dude, I'm done.
Yeah.
See ya."
Yeah, I mean,
And they're going to get out cheap.
I'm
And
boomer.
so I'm
Honestly, like I'm not gonna. I can't. I'm obviously not gonna give you like anybody a straight number, right?
no,
But
I'm not either. That was just for
well,
conversational facts.
of course. But what I'm saying is I'm boomer bust. That's how
Well,
I feel.
no, and I understand a lot of people feel that way. I just want a lot of people to realize that you should not trade with emotion. You should get actual factual data, find out what's actually happening. If
Alan,
this thing turns back on, know what has to happen and what could happen, because the information is going to be invaluable. And if that happens, it will keep you from making a choice because of how you feel about something versus what you know about something.
Alan, let me ask you something, right? What are some of the words that I say before the market opens every single morning?
You basically try to turn everybody into a sociopath. You say cold as ice, trade on facts, don't use your personal thoughts or opinions, use the actual factual data and be cold
Data,
as ice.
data.
Data, right?
So you literally just backed up exactly what I say every single day, and I love it.
No, and it's true. I mean, I'm not going to stand behind you if you're lying.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
know you're not. I know you're not.
So if you're literally putting out facts and you're telling people, hey, don't do this based on emotion, do it based on actual legitimate facts, things that are real,
Mm-hmm.
you're only helping people.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I just try to make everything a math problem. That way, I keep emotions out of it because emotions lead to bad decisions, you know? But,
Well, yeah, but emotions lead to us destroying our accounts.
well, that too.
So we all know I got this, right? No. We all know about that one in the mafia family.
the recorded video doesn't know about your no button.
No, I know, but so everybody knows I got the no button, right? Well, for Christmas,
Uh-huh.
somebody loves me. I got a new one.
That was bullshit.
Alan, I can't,
Yes, sir.
I can't, I just can't have curses on,
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, then you won't be able to play the video that I'm gonna make tomorrow if the wife is feeling better when I wake her up.
Oh no, I'm gonna play it. I'm just that one will be non-monetized. This one will be monetized. That's the only
Okay.
difference.
Okay, well, that video is going to be amazing. And I'm pretty sure Rocket Girl and Trish are either going to be killing me or calling my wife, cheering her on while she's beating me.
Oh god, well, I can't wait to see it. But hey, man, thank you again for your time as always. I love the updates. Keep on fighting the good fight, and thank you for obviously being a part of the mafia. I mean, you make the you're just as big of a part of the mafia as anybody else, for damn sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. I want to give a shout out to one website really quick, if
Go
you don't
ahead.
mind. It is called. I'm gonna have to look on my computer. You're gonna hear some reverb for a second, so I apologize. I'm gonna quickly try to mute it on the computer. Let's see, volume and down. Okay, so there is a website called BrokerWatch.com.
Uh huh.
This is a fight for attorneys firm.
Uh-huh.
I think that every single person, and I mean every single person that has MMTLP,
Uh-huh.
should go read what this website says and should go look at the cases they've handled and the judgments they have won.
Uh-huh.
I cannot confirm or deny that I am in talks with them, but I would highly recommend that everybody at least go do their DD on this attorney firm.
Alan,
Done.
the way you phrased that, you made it a little bit obvious, and I'm just telling you as your friend. But,
I've
Anyways,
contacted a lot of attorney firms, so I don't know which one is going to actually represent us as far as what I'm trying to do. I
I
haven't gotten a definite answer from any of like the 7 that I'm waiting to hear back from.
fair enough.
But this
Fair enough.
one, the reason I want people to look at this website
Mm-hmm.
is they have rulings and they have documents about similar type cases. Now, nothing similar to MMTLP,
Uh-huh.
but things, certain aspects of what happened to us,
Uh-huh.
they have sued on just that aspect alone to other people. And what the judges said, what was available, what they've done in the past. Like this website that they have put up has a ton of information that if somebody wanted to get legitimate advice on how to handle things,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you find a better resource for legal help than these guys because of what they've posted and their past cases and what the outcomes were, because it will show people how to deal with specific situations that they're dealing with this.
Uh-huh.
So I believe everybody should go check it out.
Absolutely. I You know what? I might hit you up exact or like a little bit later on to go over the exacts, but I'm gonna let you go because
All right, man.
I think that you should go and really look at this cup and handle that's forming on SOXL
I'm
because
gonna hang up so I can do it.
okay. All
But
right.
I
I
love
will
you,
catch you
brother,
later,
and I
my
love
man.
the family. You guys rock. I'll see y'all in a few.
You rock, bro. Catch you later.